Good morning. Hello. Hello, Fantastic. Honestly, I could probably play that game for days and not get bored. When you ask if we're doing dictatorship or map making, I could do either or. Honestly, I really could. I was actually thinking about leaving that up to you guys, so if that was something you were interested in seeing. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. Right now, I've got Incarnate pulled up, and was going to continue working on that Asian map, but I mean, all you gotta do is say the word and I'll just pop on some Manor Lords and we'll get going. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta do. Just say, hey Moss, you know, as much as we enjoy and we love watching you make maps and such, man, something about watching you rule a territory, it's just relaxing first thing on a Saturday morning. But how's everybody doing? See, we got a couple of you out there already. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. Work before play. I like your style. I like your style. Fantastic. But if you really consider this work, sometimes it is work. Because sometimes you got to do it before a specific purpose, you know? Let's see. I'm just looking around at stuff, and I notice that I'm not getting any music coming through here. So let me see. Oh, are you kidding me? No, you're telling me Napoleon failed to conquer things? That's redonkulous, dude. That is redonkulous. Why is... my audio not coming through? Boo, boo, boo. So we could try that. No, still not coming through. Yeah, Waterloo, but what about everything else that he conquered? Okay, yeah, you don't march your troops through Russia during the winter. I get it, okay? Now everybody knows. There was a reason he was Emperor of the French Empire. The Napoleonic Empire. Why is the... I'm trying to figure out why the music is not coming through. You guys aren't hearing any music on your end, are you? Weird. Hold on. Okay, how's that? Oh, well, now, as soon as the track stops. There we go. There we go. I think that is a little better. All right, you know what? If you want to belittle the accomplishments of the great Napoleon Bonaparte, that's fine. That's fine. He was important enough that Joaquin Phoenix played him. Hello, Nozaku boy. This nonsense is Saturday morning map making, which you should. I'm surprised you're not familiar with now. Boop. 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 All right, we got to put all these doors in. And I think we're going to put one there too. And we're going to put one there. Let's see, where all do we need doors? Okay. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, my resource management in the game still has it still needs to be desired. I will tell you this much. So I played off stream a little bit yesterday, right? And man, I had a burgeoning economy. It was great. It was great. And it took, from the beginning of the game to when it happened, it took probably about 8 years for a raiding party to come in. And, you know, I'll be the first to admit, your boy got complacent. Your boy got complacent. And he didn't have enough of a standing army. He had enough residents to form a standing army. But his iron production was not fast enough. And his weaponsmithing was not fast enough in order to arm such an outfit. And so, looking back, what I should have done, instead of attempting to import ale and all of that stuff to meet the needs of each and every household, I should have been importing iron or weapons in full, already made weapons, so that way I might be able to actually arm my army. But, you know, lessons learned. See, I'm just eyeballing these doorways. You're breaking your low-carb diet this week. Why is that? You got a birthday coming up or something? Gonna make some exceptions for birthday cake. Oh, look how well I sized that. That was just about perfect. Yeah. Look at that. I have not tried setting up a reserve of federal supplies managed by private entities. I've not tried that. And that is, that's my next goal, to get that done. Because I think that's really managing federal assets with private companies is the way to go. Hey, congratulations, Vijay. That's awesome. Is the 13th wedding anniversary? Is that the cake anniversary? Hello, Clueless. How are you, my friend? Okay, this one I did not size quite so well. All right, but I just need to get all of these in position. I think 195, maybe? Yeah, baby. Yeah, these doorways are a little big, so we're going to have to shrink them up a little bit. We're going to have to shrink them up. Oh, that one. This one is perfect. And this one is almost perfect. To the point where your boy's like, good enough. You are awake. As are we all. Awake and ready to meet the world with a smile on our face, or at least some sort of expression. Oh, I just moved everything. We don't want to do that. There we go. How's that looking? Bring it in just a tad. Bring it in. You know what I need? I know I've said it several times. For this stuff, I need one of those tablets. 13th is life. Wife is just as beautiful and scary as when we met, but now she is smarter and a better fighter. Have you been taking fighting classes together, my friend? Some materials are skipped, i.e. the concrete anniversary. One day, maybe I'll make it to the styrofoam anniversary. We'll see. Get each other igloo coolers. There is the tiniest gap right there, but I don't think, unless you're looking for it, I don't think you'll notice it. Needs to go this way. So is this 105? 105 degrees. The average temperature of Albuquerque, New Mexico. There we go. That's at 195. Man, I'm not bad at eyeballing this stuff. Not bad. Now, if you ask me how far a deer is, I wouldn't be able to tell you that, but... There we go. Look at that. Perfect. She's perfect. All right, we got two more. And this one, we're gonna be able to use that as a guide. And we're gonna use this as a guide. There we go. So this here, we're gonna turn this around. We're gonna be at 195 degrees. Oh, that's way too big. That's way too big. Alright, this one's also going to be at 195. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No, that ain't right, because it needs to be about at 15 degrees, because it's on the opposite side of the house, entering the door in a different direction. So we're going to have to flip it around there. Alright, and this one here, we're going to give it the same treatment. About 15 degrees. We're going to have to come back in here and close this up. And then, let's take a look at this one. I could probably stand to close that up just a tad. Just a tad. There we go. We're going to have to be awful meticulous with that because that floor is changing right there. There we go. I think what we're going to have to do is this. Alright, we're going to get back on here. What is this? Nope, that's a... what is it called? Ta-Nehisi coats mats? Bring that brush down real small like. We can clean this edge up a little bit. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we got one more. Ah, just barely too wide. Well, maybe not. No, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. A little bit of both feline, a little bit of both. Or, I'm sorry, fantastic. God, I'm getting you mixed up. It's like my parents. I get mine and my brother's name mixed up. A southern accent? No, it kind of... So it is kind of a southern accent, but it's more of just an exaggeration of my own. Because believe it or not, I do have a bit of an accent. It just kind of depends on who I'm talking to, you know? Like if I'm talking to a customer at work, and if that customer is, you know, kind of a good old boy, I'll turn it up just a little bit. It ain't nothing like, you know, anything. It ain't nothing crazy, but it's just one of those things that and I don't do it on purpose neither. And that's even a little bit more. That's even a little bit more exaggerated than what I normally do. I don't do it on purpose either, but kind of give it a little bit more of a twang, just a little bit. What are you doing? Going tearing something up today? You know, that kind of thing. What kind of trouble are you getting into? Whereas normally, I'm much more refined in my speech. Much more... what's the word? I'm good at words, guys. I don't know if you noticed this. I'm very good at words. Anyway, let's see what we have got here. It's really interesting because when I mouse over this little menu here, the sharpness of the picture changes. That is odd. Weird behavior. Kentucky Fried Moss, yes. Come on down to Kentucky Fried Moss. Where are you getting? Deep fried moss. I wish they had is it pampas grass? Pampas grass? Oh. What is it? Yeah, pampas grass. I want to say that there is a TTRPG that focuses in on the Crusades, because I'm pretty sure we've looked into that before. Castles and Crusades. But that's more from what I'm looking at, Castles and Crusades is more of a kind of an emulation of earlier editions of Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see. Trench Crusade. What is that? I think this is probably miniatures. Yeah, it's miniatures. Oh, but that's World War One. Hence the name Trench. Crusader Kingdoms, huh? Is this a board game? It says 1 to 4 players. Yeah, it's a board game. Strategy board game. Although that would be cool. That'd be interesting to see. 1 deck of Muslim cards. 1 deck of Crusader cards. 2 rule books. 5 custom dice. 50 plus wooden castle pieces. 50 plus wooden printed garrison pieces in 4 colors. Double-sided hard-mounted game board. 1 side for the first and third Crusade, and 1 side for the second and Saladin. Interesting. I kind of want to play this. $40K for edgy history bros. Your bank tellers are all ladies. Yeah, well, I'll have you know, I'm not just a bank teller. I do everything in the bank. I am a personal banker. And believe it or not, I actually do have a pretty good relationship with a lot of the customers at the bank. A lot of guys come in and they we just, you know, shoot the shit and just, you know, talk about whatever. A lot of them come in, they tell me about the projects they're working on, the truck projects they're working on. And a lot of them like it because a lot of them are old guys that like to do business with men, which is obviously an advantage for me. Because a lot of the old men who like to do business with men have money. And your boy gets credit for how much money he brings into the bank. Building scenario maps of mosques that the party raids for artifacts could be seen as a problem. Yeah, well, a lot of things could be seen as a problem. How's the Middle Eastern accent? Oh man, this my Middle Eastern accent is it's not great. It's not great, but I'm working on it. It's a little bit of it's got a little bit of Russian in it. Perhaps if I learned a little bit of Arabic, I might be able to perhaps if I learned a little bit of Arabic and picked up a little bit of the dialect, I might be able to nail it a little bit better. Casually brings up the Roman Empire at the bank. Yeah. Ladies never want to talk to you until they pull up your accounts and they become friendlier. Well, that's a kind of a soft flex there, isn't it? Fantastic. Tell us how much money you have without telling us how much money you have. Let's see. I need grass. They don't have pampas grass. Speaking of grass, have any of you guys played Ghost of Yotei? or are we all avoiding it like the plague? I can tell you I'm not going to be playing it because I already played Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm pretty sure that's probably just about all that I need. I've already got the story, you know, and I feel like Ghost of Yote is probably going to end up being more or less a clone of Ghost of Tsushima with a female protagonist just kind of ham-fisted in. Enough to not work for a couple of years. See, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Fantastic. Count your lucky stars for that, because a lot of people, in fact, like 99% of Americans don't have that. Let's see. We're gonna leave a little bit there for a path. Alright, we might adjust this grass a little bit, because I don't know if it needs to be really this tall around the outsides of the house, but we're also going to need to put windows in at some point. But windows are, golly, these days windows are just expensive. We're going to have a quote, and we're going to need to see, you know, do we want them insulated? I mean, it's better long-term to get them insulated, but the upfront cost is just out of this world, man. Normally don't play games, tabletop or video. You outsource your game playing to people like me. Well, thank you for that, because it's a hobby that we definitely enjoy. And you know, honestly, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, you know, being on here and doing all this and all that stuff has given me purpose or anything like that, because people enjoy it, but it definitely, it gives a man something to look forward to, you know. And while it might not fulfill a man's highest need for purpose, it definitely helps. In fact, I think Vijay is about to celebrate his 13th anniversary of a man's highest need for purpose. Or like are there wagon tracks? No. Let's see. Wagon. Nope. Doggone it. Okay. Well. Let's see. Yes, fantastic if it was only that easy. I wonder. Maybe there's a stamp of it. No. No, it's not supposed to be that easy, or else it wouldn't be worth doing. Fantastic, and that's how I try to look at it, you know. Made you came back with one very bad match. Man, you know, as far as the dating apps, you know, I've been on them with very limited success. And it's just not worth doing anymore, man. It gamifies the whole thing, and it makes it impersonal. And it's just not good. It's not good. It comes like, you know, like window shopping. Like, how many times have you gone into a store, just looked around, and didn't buy anything? You know, and the sucky part about it is like, you can go into the store and you can not buy anything, but if you wanted to buy something, you got to make sure that whatever it is that you're buying wants you to buy it. I think you may save up to finally take your wife on honeymoon in 2 years. You're relatively poor when you married and just started a new job and are now financially secure, and you think you should. I mean, yeah, dude, for sure. I don't know how fond you are of Asian, like East Asian countries, but I had a buddy and his now fiance went over to Laos and Cambodia. And they said getting there was expensive, but while they were there, it was just, you know, it was dirt cheap. Europe, however, I wouldn't touch Europe with a 10-foot pole right now. Not until they get all their stuff straightened out, man. Because I am not about to go over to Europe and get assaulted and mobbed by somebody who is not European. Unless you go to, is it Poland? It's actually in a good spot right now, or is it Hungary? It's one of the two. I think it's Poland. Because I saw videos of, you know, some, I guess they were English, or they were either English or American tourists walking around in just this small town. And they just have like these, they're like armoire looking things where they have just a cabinet that opens up on top, and you've got dozens and dozens and dozens of eggs, and you've got a little slot down at the bottom that where you put your money, and nobody ever has any issues. Like, the honor system works over there because, one, you know, oh my God, this is going to get me canceled for saying this if more than 7 people are watching this right now or come back to watch it, but like a homogenous society where everybody knows everybody, I mean, it just works. That's the only way you can have a society that works like that. When people are, you know, stacked on top of each other and just absolutely pushed together like sardines, they lose. I don't know, man. I don't really know how to articulate it. Like, people being forced together like that kind of removes their need to be, you know, part of a community. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic. You'd think that you'd be more, and I'm just as guilty of it as anybody. Like, I'm not pressed together with my neighbors necessarily, but I've got, you know, like right on the other side of this wall here is my driveway, and right on the other side of my driveway is my neighbor's house. And then I've got about 10 feet on the other side between my house and my neighbor's house. And I don't talk to any of them. So I say this being, you know, just as guilty of it as anybody. But it's just one of those things, man. You know, that's your human tendencies. Plus, I talk to you guys on here all the time. I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Like Tahiti, but the lady would be like, I need to lose weight to be swimsuit ready. Well, what if, why don't you just, you know, spring it on her then? Like, if that's what you're worried about, you know, go to her one day and just be like, all right, well, pack your stuff because we're going to Tahiti tomorrow. Like, first of all, I guarantee she would love the impulsiveness of it. Like, all of a sudden, like, she's doing her day-to-day job. I don't know if your wife works or not, but like, she's doing her day-to-day grind, and, you know, all of a sudden her husband comes to her. He's like, all right, well, guess what? You've got about 20 minutes to get everything packed because we get on a plane to Tahiti in 2 hours. What? Yeah. She'll be mad at you at first. I guarantee it. She'll be mad that you didn't give her any notice. But the excitement will very soon take over. As soon as she's packed and you're in the car, she'll be excited. Guaranteed. I say this as if I have some sort of clairvoyance with women. I don't. But I think that most women, if not all women, function very similarly. It's just like that whole stereotype where, you know, a woman says she doesn't want anything from Taco Bell, and you go and you get her a chalupa anyway because she'll be mad if you don't. Oh, well, fair enough. Okay, phrasing could be a little bit better, but yeah, fantastic. You got a good point. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to run and I'm going to grab some coffee. I'll be right back. I'll tell you, VJJ, I genuinely think, that's why I said, I think she'll be mad at you at first, but I think the excitement will take over very soon. All right, VJJ. Well, it was good talking to you. Thanks for the lurk, my friend. And, yes, I hope you figure out how to approach your wife with the idea of a vacation. Let's see. Let's see. I think... Let's change this up a little bit. Here, we're going to change up the music just a little bit. There we go. Give it a little bit more of a somber tone. Autumn grass. Let's see. Hay. Hay is verhostet. Where's all the dirt? I need good dirt. I'm starting to wonder if maybe this dirt that's already there might be the best dirt for it. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this dirt down, but I think I want to leave some of the dark spots here. And the dark spots I'm just going to kind of use as a guide to fill with water, maybe. Just little puddles. Yeah, because maybe this is after, I don't know, a soft rain or something. Yeah. Let's bring that opacity down to about 70. A little dark. That's not too bad. Man, I love this arrangement. It's such a cool arrangement. I love it. Man, I feel like I need to find something that could double as wagon tracks. let's see. So if we were to do, let's play around something with a little bit of something. So this is just like a wooden pole, right? Let's play around with it a little bit. We're gonna turn the brightness down. Could be, but the border on it is a little bit much. I don't know if this is gonna work because I need to turn that contrast down, but that turns it to like a gray. Okay, let's try something else. See, the reason I need this to work is because I need to do it with a line tool so I can treat it as a stamp and then duplicate it. That's about as close as I think I might be able to get. Actually, I wonder. Okay, there was a candidate. Maybe the limestone wall might work. If I just shrink it down. Alright, let's try this. We will see. Turn the opacity down just a tad. And then turn the brightness down. Okay, that's not bad. We definitely needed to turn the scale down just a little bit. Well, I say a little bit, quite a bit more. Let's see, let's turn the opacity down just a little bit more. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, cool. Duplicate. And we're going to move it. Use this corner down here as a guide. Let's see where we're at. That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Gives it a little bit of a track there. Let's see, and then we should also have some footprints. Let's see, horse. I need horsey prints. Really? No horse? No horse prints? Is that what we're talking? Of all the prints you don't have? They have duck tracks, but they don't have... They have duck tracks and they have bunny tracks, sheep tracks, pig tracks, cow tracks, and chicken tracks. They don't have horse tracks. Tell me how that makes sense. This is beyond me, man. I have no idea. That's weird. Of all the tracks not to have. No. Perhaps this cart has a cow pulling it. I guess. Okay. Let's see, turn the opacity down just a tad. There we go. Could be an ox, I suppose. Of course, I don't know if they had... Do they have oxen in feudal Japan? I'm curious. Feudal Japan oxen. Let's see. Ah, so they did have oxen in feudal Japan. Perfect. That checks out. See, guys, lore accuracy is of utmost importance because it grounds you with a sense of, it grounds you in a sense of reality. It doesn't matter if the world is made up or not, as long as it has rules, and the author or the storyteller is playing by said rules, then it's much more believable. You're much more likely to be immersed in whatever it is being told. What is that? Interesting. They have so many buttons that do the same thing. All right. Sorry, just trying to set plans for later on today. Don't you love it whenever, you know, friends can make plans and everybody's in, and then you try to find something to do and, you know, that you think that people might be interested in it. Nope. Everybody's out. Just can't cast this magic spell because the cart is not being pulled by period accurate livestock. You know what I mean. Just need some rudimentary stone stairs, I think. I think this should work. There we go. Is it B-A-N-S-I-S-A-I? B-A-N-S-I-S-A-I? I think that's how you spell it. No? I know they have bonsai trees. Maybe they don't? Oh, wait, no. I think the sci-fi one has bonsai trees, and I think they're potted. Good morning, Chrysanth. How are you? Bamboo. Still waking up a bit. I hear you. I'm on my second cup of joe attempting to wake up. Well, I thought I was going to have plans today, but I guess I don't. So the day is kind of wide open, I suppose. Need to get some stuff done, but other than that, like, you know. Probably need to clean the house. You know how that is. Lazy day. Yeah, I need to get some stuff done around the house, unfortunately. Let's see, sci-fi. Let's look into sci-fi and see what... Because I know they have bonsai trees. No? Where'd the bonsai trees go? Am I spelling it wrong? I might be spelling it wrong. Oh, here we go. Yeah, potted bonsai trees. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I just realized we still have so much work to do around the house. Buh. We have to outfit the place. We need furniture, we need tables, we need this and that and the other. And also, still need windows. We need to get a quote for windows. That's true. Yeah, I'm not regrouting my shower because I have no grout in my shower. Although that is something I would like to do at some point. I would like to redo my bathroom to where I actually have like a nice tiled shower, like a walk-in shower. Because my house is not necessarily built for kids, you know? It's... Are the parents coming to help? No, this isn't. It's not stuff that. Parents need. I basically just need to clean and cut the grass and do all that stuff. Just basic maintenance. I also need to find time to go to the gym and do all this and that and the other. Oh man, where do I put this? Oh. Never mind. Misunderstood. Hmm. Okay, I can get behind that chrysanth. At least you had something with your appetizer. Hmm. Let's see. What is this? It's a 39. Okay. Actually, let's move this over a little bit this way. And then I think we'll put probably a table underneath of it. Oh. Boop. I don't think that works quite as well as I thought it would. Hmm. See, that seems like it's supposed to set outside. Hmm. Could have a baker's oven out there. And just have, like, another door. Just right here, maybe. And then I think that's consistent. Let's see, let me check something. Oh. This needs to be at 15 degrees. I don't know if that did anything. Yeah, that's all right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see. Do they have gravel? Nope. Let's see. Well, that might not be bad to have next to it here. Let's see. So we want to maybe rotate a little bit. But I'll tell you what. We will get to rotating here in just a second, because your boy has got to use the little boy's room. I'll be right back. No pooping timer necessary. Although I did top my coffee off, so I imagine that will be just a matter of time. You know, one thing that we are missing, maybe it can be assumed that it's outside of the house somewhere, but like a larder. It needs a larder. Oh, you know what I should do is take we're not going to merge this, but if we take just a wooden pole here, and we're going to take it, we're going to rotate it to about 15 degrees. We're going to set it off here. And that'll give us a nice little frame to fill in. Make sure that this oven is centered. And then we can fill this in with our cobblestone. And maybe if we're a little cheeky, we can put some... Actually, you know what I might do? It might be prudent to move this back just a tad. So, yeah, we're going to take this. We're going to move it back just a little bit. Take this, move that back. And then we're going to fill this in with cobblestone. Doggone it. Doggone it! Let's see. Then we can have some stairs, just a small set of stairs that goes up. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Okay, we're slowly but surely adding a little bit more detail. Let's see. Why don't we do this? We're going to take this, we're going to get rid of it, and we are going to put one in there that is lit. Oh, I guess if I spelled it correctly. Let's see. black. Sure, why not? A little bit of black smoke. And then put some firewood. No, I thought they had some firewood assets here. Could have been. I guess you're right, Fantastic. It could have been a quick poop. It wasn't, but it could have been. What is a boy to do to make sure his fires are fed without wood? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to shrink these down just a tad. Let's see. Let's put these at 15 maybe. Ooh. You know what I just realized? That is... I need to fill in these corners here. Because that... I can see the grass just kind of peeking through. No, don't put them at random angles. Let's put these over here. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to take this, move this up a layer. Go back. That down a layer. All right, I think it might be prudent also. We should also have some in here, definitely. It only makes sense. Let's see, but I'm thinking we need some sort of like a... tray or something. 70.8 hours into Silksong. Man, that's impressive. That is impressive. Is it that good? Like, I've heard it was good, but I didn't know if it was that good. And plus, I haven't played Hollow Knight, so I don't know if that's a necessary thing. I know everybody was going crazy about Hollow Knight too. Lots of platforming and bosses. Okay, okay. I'm like, I could take or leave. Like with the platforming and stuff, I could take it or leave it, honestly. Like it depends on how well it's done. And honestly, like I haven't played a whole lot of side scrollers. So I'm trying to think of the last side scroller I actually played. I wanted to play Cuphead when it came out, and I never got around to it. Like I know Mortal Kombat isn't a side scroller. I played Limbo a little bit, but that didn't really. I didn't like. I liked Limbo, but I never really stuck with it. Um. What remaster are you talking about, Fantastic? Oh, Borderlands 1. Yeah, yeah. Borderlands 1 was awesome. I played a like Borderlands 1 was awesome. And then I played Borderlands 2 a little bit. I maybe sunk 10 hours into Borderlands 2. Never touched Borderlands 3. Although the Telltale game, Tales from the Borderlands, I very much enjoyed. I like that one a lot. And it's not a Borderlands game, it's a Telltale game that takes place in Borderlands universe. But was it Pandora? Is that the planet? That was awesome. But other than that, yeah, I never really got too heavily into those Borderlands games. Like there aren't a ton of games franchises that I've really gotten into, like, and other than like, you know, Fallout, Bethesda, or like the Bethesda things outside of oh god, Starfield. Like Starfield, I probably sank 70 hours into Starfield. Like the shipbuilding I thought was really cool, but the gameplay outside of that was just not great. And I heard that they're still working on it. Like they're still planning on quote unquote fixing it, but Monkey Island and Sam & Max. Those are two that I never even heard of those, honestly. Yeah, Fallout, Mass Effect was another one that I really got into. And with all that stuff going on, there's actually been several articles that have come out, people talking about BioWare and their properties in the light of that whatever Saudi Arabian company, or if it was the government, I don't know, buying out EA. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with Mass Effect 4. Honestly, with the way that BioWare has been going, I would rather not get another Mass Effect game than see what kind of abomination they've come up with for Mass Effect 4. I will be very interested if they announce it, and then I guarantee you the first trailer that comes out, I'll be out. Not into it. Season 3 of Telltale's Sam & Max was Cthulhu. I'm going to have to look into that. Sam & Max. The Telltale games that I've done are, their Walking Dead games were very good. Their Game of Thrones game was very good. It followed House Forrester, I think it was. And I'm not super well versed on the Song of Ice and Fire as a universe, but that was really good. The Wolf Among Us, I think, only had one season. Holy smokes, that was awesome. Because that takes place in the Fables universe, not Fable like the Xbox game, but Fables. If you're familiar, is basically like all of the fairy tales and stuff are they live in kind of this sequestered off neighborhood in New York City, and they all have, not all of them, but a lot of them have to buy glamours to make themselves a human. So Bigby Wolf is the big bad wolf, but he's a detective in this neighborhood in New York City, and he just puts on like this glamour of just this disheveled cop, more or less. And it's such a good game, man. It's, yes, Chrysanth, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Wolf Among Us was awesome. And I think there was another Tale. Oh, well, I was just talking about Tales from Borderlands. I was into that. I feel like there was another one that I played, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, Wolf Among Us is probably in my top 10 video games that I've ever played. I tried to play Starfield again after you heard Donut Operator talk about it recently, but it's still boring and the companions are lame. Yeah, the dialogue is just not good. Dialogue is terrible. Yeah. Bloody Mary was terrifying. What was the little winged monkey's name in that game? I'm trying to remember. I love that character. That was an awesome character. And the Woodsman. All that stuff going on with the Woodsman. God, I need to replay that. That's such a good story that they wrote for that. Yeah, the Starfield is just like, everything about Starfield was poorly implemented. Like, even when they came out and were talking about, like, you know, I guess early reviews of the game were like, oh yeah, the planets are a little bit empty. There's not much to do on them. And they actually had the gall to come out and say, well, that's the charm about landing on these, about real space exploration, is that it's beautiful whenever you land on an empty planet. It's not like there's nothing to do. Look at all there is to look at. Like, well, this is a video game. Like, how is that even rationalization that you come to? I genuinely don't get it. I don't get it. It's like they forgot, when making that game, they forgot the fundamental principles of making video games, right? Like, it's kind of a well-known fact that on average, if you're going to have an open world game, on average, you need to have a point of interest. What is it, like every 43 seconds or something? And it's not like No Man's Sky, where, you know, you don't have to have a point of interest every 43 seconds, because you're spending so much time gathering resources and building things and that kind of stuff. Because there's like, each individual little piece is something that you can discover, and those discoveries gain you rewards, as opposed to, you know, points of interest having things that you might pick up, or quests that you might pick up or complete. Like, the whole thing about Starfield, like, they got one thing right, in my opinion, in that game, and that was the shipbuilding. And that's where, I believe, that's probably where they spent all their resources on that game, was the shipbuilding. And implementing this new game engine. Like, they spent all their resources implementing a new game engine and gave the game almost zero substance. Like, I beat the main story, and the entire time I was just like, this is not great. You know? Yeah, exactly. If we can have the technology of space travel, we can have the technology of boring scenic overview only. Well, the thing is, it's like the thing that makes the idea of space travel so enticing is knowing that nobody has done it before. It's like I can go on a cruise ship and sail around the Caribbean, and I'm not getting off on the fact that I'm sailing around the Caribbean because nobody's done it before. It's not the fact that I'm sailing on the Caribbean. It's like, oh, look, I'm on a giant ship that has got buffets and alcohol out the wazoo and swimming pools and water slides and a casino and all that stuff. Like they put all that stuff on a cruise ship because you're not going out and discovering things. You are on a ship with all kinds of amenities that sails in the water. It's a water city is basically what it is, or it's a water amusement park. That's all it is. You don't, otherwise it would just be a ship full of windows. And that's it. And you can go in plenty of games and sail around the stars and you know, discover things. But that's not what makes those games fun, because it's not like it's an achievement. You sit down on your couch and you just sit down on your couch and you turn it on. If they did to discover randomly added and changing like Helldivers, if they did planets to discover randomly added and changing like Helldivers 2, well, yeah. I mean, it seems like they do a lot. Now, of course, they got to do, you know, updates and stuff like that. You know, they have to basically rework things. But, yeah, I mean, the planets are somewhat dynamic in Helldivers 2. So when you go back after a while, after a couple of major orders, you know, the place could be quite a bit different. But yeah, man, Bethesda is just, like, I am no longer excited about Elder Scrolls 6. I was when they first announced it, and then, you know, what, 7 years later, after they dropped that 13-second teaser, we've heard nothing. And after Starfield, I'm like, well, and Starfield's already, what, is Starfield 4 years old yet? 3 years old? It might be 3 years old. Maybe not quite that old. I don't know. But it's so few and far between that they come out with actually come out with something new. And they give you no updates as far as when it's gonna, as far as, you know, what's going on. Like what they did with Oblivion, and it wasn't even them who worked on it. Like, they helped on it, but it was Virtuo Studios that did with the Oblivion remake, and that was phenomenal. But zero updates on Elder Scrolls 6, and with the most recent things that Bethesda themselves have been working on. 2 years? 2 years? Okay. Well, yeah, 2 years. But with this, the recent things that Bethesda have been working on and have put out, I have basically lost almost all interest in anything Bethesda is putting out. Like, there are very few studios that I think have any goodwill left. And some of it has to do with the games that they've been putting out, and some of it has to do with the company's conduct itself. Like, you know, CD Projekt Red, for example. Like, CD Projekt Red has gone through and ultimately made Cyberpunk 2077 a good game. But first of all, I mean, it launched in a terrible state. Everybody knows that. I'm not saying anything new. And they also have, you know, all kinds of different internal work culture policies that have come out that I'm just not, like, it almost makes me not want to do business with them. Like, why would I give you my money when your values are such? And there's several companies like that. Like, I don't think I'll ever give Obsidian money again because of their conduct with the whole Avowed thing. Unless something comes out that they have done a complete 180 on a bunch of that stuff. Because the inside work culture is indicative of what kind of product they're going to be putting out. At least as far as it pertains to an entertainment medium. If it's Coca-Cola, I don't care. Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola. Whatever. But Avowed was... I played probably about... I might have put 5 hours into Avowed. There was nothing about it that stood out to me. Zero. They did nothing different from anybody else. The art was terrible. I hated the art. The character models were terrible. Like, who wants to play as one of those little blue guys? And what do they call it? It's not godlings. Because it's in the Pillars of Eternity universe, I believe, and I don't know a whole lot about Pillars of Eternity. But whatever it was that was supposed to have been made special about you as a player character, something about you being touched by some sort of divinity, you're covered in fungus. You have mushrooms growing out of your head. Like, okay, cool. Who wants to be a player character that has mushrooms growing out of their head? Give me glowing eyes or tattoos that like Frost's character in Strange Aeons. Have him glow yellow, a bright divine light or something. Or give him dragon scales. That's cool. No, fungus. Great job, Obsidian. You did a great job with that one. And it breaks my heart because my favorite Fallout game, I've said it several times, my favorite Fallout game that has come into existence has been New Vegas. And they have fallen so far. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's impossible to win back the trust of a built community because, you know, I know I keep talking about it, but I mean, look at Battlefield. Battlefield's not necessarily something that draws super heavily on story, but the whole milsim, and it's not a milsim per se. It's an arcadey milsim. It's a grounded arcade shooter. But all you got to do is just make something that seems plausible to have been a military operation. Yeah, the Outer Worlds proved New Vegas Obsidian is gone. And, you know, I'll be honest with you. Like, I didn't mind the Outer Worlds. Like, it wasn't terrible. In my opinion. But yeah, I was not super... I don't know, man. Like, everything has been infected with just bad talent because everybody wants to do the same thing. Everybody wants to get on at some sort of a game studio, and there's such a surplus of game studios and a surplus of quote unquote talent, and the talent is so diluted that it makes, like, you know, you no longer have these elite studios. I say you no longer do, but like they're kind of few and far between. You liked Avowed? Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to. You know what? Opinions are opinions, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I hated Avowed. I thought it was terrible. terrible. I didn't think Avowed did anything. They didn't implement anything very well, in my opinion. Yeah, Outer Worlds, like I said, I enjoyed Outer Worlds because it was a comedic. It was a very satirical game. The combat was never very good, but the combat wasn't what the game was about, and so the combat was kind of something that was secondary to the main point of the game, which was the narrative. And I thought the narrative was fine. It was good. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's like movies anymore, man. Like, I feel like there is so much content out there as far as movies and TV shows that it's just not like it's most of the stuff that comes out is going to be slop. It's just slop. Did I play on the hardest difficulty of Outer Worlds with no HUD? No, I definitely did not. I beat the Outer Worlds once. Yes, movies. At least we can agree on that. Movies do suck. Like, you know, they've even got a new Lord of the Rings movie coming out, and I don't want anything to do with it. Because why? Why? Everything's a cash cow. Lord of the Rings is, it's a successful, quote-unquote, property that they absolutely have to cash in on. Came in this too hot. Like, there's still good movies that are being made, but they're just few and far between. You know what I mean? Like, there's a handful of filmmakers out there. Like, you don't really have any Spielbergs anymore. You don't have, yeah, remember War of the Rohirrim? Yeah. Like, the art style in War of the Rohirrim was okay, but, and they stuck to certain beats of what had happened in the books. But the fact that they had to take what was an unnamed character and make her a main character, it's just dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. You don't remember the last time you saw a movie in theaters? Last movie I saw in theaters was Nosferatu, and that is it Robert Eggers? I think it's Robert Eggers or something like that. The guy who did The Witch and The Northman and The Lighthouse and Nosferatu. Like, that guy is a good director. The Lighthouse was an interesting film. I'm not going to say it was a bad film. I'm not going to say it was a good film. The acting in it was phenomenal. I gained a lot of respect for Robert Pattinson in that movie, actually. And, I mean, Willem Dafoe was as eccentric as you could ever want him in that film. But it was just it was so weird. Very, very Cthulhu-esque. And I feel like that director has a thing for the idea of cosmic horror. And cosmic horror mixed with like a psychological aspect of it. The scene in Nosferatu was the scene in Nosferatu where you actually meet Nosferatu, which is like in the first third of the movie, is phenomenal. It's so good. So good. Liv Tyler got so much screen time instead of Eowyn, even though we all know who the more important character is. I mean, yeah. I think Arwen in Lord of the Rings was more supposed to be Aragorn's driving force. Because in the books, obviously, Aragorn was supposed to have been accepting of his responsibility as king of Gondor from the very beginning. Like, he carried Narsil around with him until it finally got reforged into Anduril. And he was always accepting of his responsibility to become king. And one of the driving forces behind that was that Elrond had said that basically you can marry Arwen once you become king of Gondor. Because I really like this idea that men in these stories are supposed to do great things and don't always have to be these like sensitive, emotionally available characters. Like, why stoicism is a kind of a lost trait in masculine characters in movies. They're all sensitive and, you know, like I said, quote unquote emotionally available, and it makes me as a viewer not respect them, not like them as a character. Like what's, you know, it depends on the movie or on the story, obviously, because that can, you know, that can change. But like, depending on what's the goal of the story? Like, are you supposed to gain an insight into who this person is or what this person does? And when you've got a story that focuses on what a person does, you need less of an insight as to the inner psyche of the inner workings of who that character is. Eowyn. Yeah, it does. I do not have a crush on Robert Pattinson. How dare you? Although, I think he was wasted on Twilight, because Robert Pattinson is a genuinely good actor. Like, I like most of the stuff that I've seen him in. I like. He's very, very good. The Batman, you know, the Batman was okay. That was one that didn't need to get made, but it exists now, and it's not bad. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. And it's the same with Elijah Wood too, right? Elijah Wood will always be Frodo. Robert Pattinson will always be Edward. Right? And oh god, why can't I think of the actor who played Harry Potter? Why can't I think of his name? Anyway, yeah, the guy who played Harry Potter will always be Harry Potter. And he's a good actor too, you know? Why can't I think of his name? Oh god. Daniel Radcliffe. Thank you, Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe's a good actor. But yeah, he will always be Harry Potter. So, yeah, I don't know, man. How long have I been on the soapbox? I've been on the soapbox for a while. Miracle Workers. I have not seen Miracle Workers.
I think he's in. Oh no, it's Elijah Wood that's in that new detective agency show that I want to watch. Because apparently that one's supposed to be pretty funny. Um, I feel like I need to get. Oh, we need sandals. There's one movie I've been wanting to watch with Daniel Radcliffe, Guns Akimbo. It's just it's such a weird movie, and I haven't seen it, but I've been wanting to watch it. But you always got to rent it. Like, I'm on Amazon. The only streaming service I have right now is Amazon. Like, I refuse to pay for any other ones. And it's always for rent, and I'm not really keen to watch that movie. Or to rent that movie. If I can watch it for a streaming service I already pay for, that's fine. Although I will tell you one movie that I did rent recently. Because I'd watched a video from, I think it was Upper Echelon Gaming. Or I'd listened to it while I was getting ready for work one day, and it was talking about the AI companions, quote unquote companions, and he talked about that movie Her a lot. And so I got curious about it because I hadn't seen it, and I had heard it was good. And so I rented it, and it is it's eerie. It didn't quite like what ultimately happens in the movie, and I don't necessarily want to spoil it for people who haven't watched it. But what happens in the end of the movie isn't necessarily what I had anticipated happening. But overall, I mean, it was a good movie. Like, I enjoyed it. But it's the idea of what happens in that movie. The idea of that actually happening is pretty scary. Because I mean, because you know, it probably, there's a good chance that something like that is coming around the corner, something large scale, a large scale companion AI network or something. I don't know. Like, perhaps I'm a little bit too worried about it, but I mean, if you look at if you look at the birth rates right now and what is coming, like, because there's a good chance that I'm not going to get Social Security, or at least by the time I do get Social Security, it will be worth absolutely nothing, because the government is going to have to inflate prices, is going to have to inflate the currency so high to make sure that everybody gets the Social Security that they are due for all the money that they put into it. It's going to be worth absolutely nothing, right? So I'm probably not going to get to retire. I'm going to have to work till I freaking die unless I make some sound investment decisions, right? And it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I'm not gonna be mad if you like Avowed. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and besmirch you because you like Avowed. Like, you know, everybody's got their own opinions. I just didn't find anything about that game particularly intriguing. I wasn't grabbed by it. The only thing that I will say that was kind of fun was the combat, but it wasn't. That wasn't a redeeming quality for me. Because everything else about it, I just thought was either meh or just straight up not good. That's just my opinion. Like if you like a video game, by all means, fucking play it. You're back, not in black though, just more of a teal, really. Yeah, what's retirement? Yeah, exactly. You got back in time for the real talk. I don't even remember where that even came from. Like, why did I start talking about retirement? I feel like I was going somewhere with it, and I ultimately lost my destination. Let's see. I'm going to put on this Christmas music because I love Christmas. It's not Christmas music. It's Yuletide music, but I love it. I'm trying to remember what I was getting on about. Yeah, it must not have been that important. That's what I always say. If it was that important, I'd remember what I was about to say. Yeah, I mean, those of you who don't know, I mean, Christmas is my favorite holiday, man. I freaking love Christmas so much. And it's not necessarily, it's just like everything is so happy and so festive. And I don't ever want to lose that, you know, going around and seeing everybody with the lights on their house and Christmas trees and windows. And oh my God, dude. Yeah. Chrysanthemums, that store in Orlando. Oh my God. I was so happy. Like, I love the idea of a Christmas store that's open all year around, man. Like, I don't care whenever, you know, you hear Christmas music in stores. I don't care. It's not that I particularly love Christmas music. And maybe it gets old at a certain point, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't care, man. Like, you know, for people who celebrate Christmas, it's just such a nice time because people get stressed out about it and everything because they feel obligated to give gifts to people. But people who actually enjoy giving gifts are genuinely happy and merry, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a nice it's just such a nice feeling during that time of year. A big old-fashioned Christmas up in Michigan? What does that mean? What is a big old-fashioned Christmas? See, Clueless, you're all about it too, man. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I love the idea of, you know, like a Christmas Carol, the idea of everybody being so grateful to have gotten a goose for dinner, and everybody setting up around the hearth, whatever, with their family, and just, and it breaks my heart because we haven't had a Christmas that it actually snowed in years, at least not around where I'm at. But like, I don't know, man. It's like even more so than Thanksgiving. Like Thanksgiving's okay. But I don't know. There's just something about the idea of being with family and being grateful for them and being grateful for everything that they have given you, even just over the course of the year, and not necessarily on that day, but I am all about it. Yeah, and I get where you're coming from. Fantastic, I do. And honestly, it kind of helps that I was kind of getting that same way too, because most of the stuff that I want, if we're talking about presents and stuff like that, most of the stuff that I want, I just get it. If I can afford it, I get it. And most of the stuff that I want, I would never ask anybody else for, because the stuff that I want, it's like, I wanted to get a graphics card and processor and all that stuff for my computer, and I got it. But I would never ask anybody in my family for that because it's just too much. It's too much. But so I've always been like that. I've not really ever been one to ask for a lot for Christmas. But I will tell you that I was kind of getting to the point where I was the same way, and that Christmas was getting really blah, it's Christmas again. It's another Christmas. We're just going to go over to my parents' house. We're going to give each other presents. We're going to sit around for a while, and, it'll just be another year. But what really helped, in my opinion, was my nephews. And seeing them just absolutely light up at some of the stuff. And they're still young, so they don't necessarily understand it. But yeah, seeing my nephews light up at stuff that they're getting for Christmas. And I've got a niece on the way too. And eventually I'd like to have kids that I can give stuff to. And I always say it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not in a place financially where I feel like I can support anybody outside of myself. And that's always the excuse. Nobody's ever ready. And it's just one of those things that if it happens, it happens. And you take it as it goes, as it comes. But yeah, having nephews, having kids that can kind of, you can kind of witness them experience that magic fresh it kind of renews that spirit, in my opinion. Oh, well, fantastic. It sounds like you might need to, if you can, it sounds like you might need to see if you can get together with your family for Christmas. Or at least get some people together. Favorite Christmas song is Have You... I've not heard the one by Ella Fitzgerald. English revolutionary Oliver Cromwell totally canceled Christmas because of its pagan origins. Wait, what? That's insane. What, he thought it was blasphemous just because they because it follows because it occurs around the same time of the year as Saturnalia did. Like, okay, well, that's dumb. And it's like, well, okay, so here's the thing. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there are records out there that exist from the kingdom at that time about when Jesus was born. And I know everybody says it's probably sometime around April or sometime in the spring. But, like, look, I get it, man. You know, if you are a Roman emperor and you are in the midst of a Christian uprising, or not uprising, but the emergence of Christianity as a religion, but you've also got all of these traditions, such as, and I might be getting my history completely wrong, and I apologize if I am, but you've got all these pagan traditions, but you're adopting Christianity. Like, what else would you do? It's like right now, my bank has acquired another bank, and so, like, we're taking our policies as a bank and implementing them at this new bank that they've just acquired, but we're also adopting some of their policies at the same time to make the transition a little bit easier on everybody. Well, it's not easier on me because everything staying the same as it would be easier, but it's making the transition easier on the adopted party. And so it makes sense that, you know, they would have that holiday during the time of Saturnalia when that would exist. And that doesn't necessarily, like, I don't think that necessarily lessens that doesn't necessarily lessen the significance of the holiday. It's not like the Bible says, you know, the scripture doesn't say when you should celebrate the birth of Jesus. It doesn't even say that you have to celebrate it at all. We just do. And we do it at a time that is you know, it's just something that's been carried forward that I think, in my opinion, makes complete sense. And anybody who would outlaw that because of its quote unquote pagan origins is dumb. It's dumb. It's just, you know, let people have their things. If it's important to people, let them have it. Like, unless it hurts other people, let people do their thing, you know? I don't understand what the fascination is with outlawing things. And that's the thing, it still happens too. Like, it's crazy. I feel like we need slippers all over the place. We need more slippers. You hear that, Cromwell? Here, we need, I'm gonna have to get some more shelves. I feel like we're never gonna get this done. Mostly because I went off on a tirade. I got on my soapbox about video games. And then let's duplicate that. And we're gonna move this over here to, I think, 15? Yeah, 15 degrees. Like Christmas because it gets your heart back into an attitude of gratitude. Sorry for the rhyme. It's not a gratitude for things, but blessing. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Clueless. That's the that's the whole point. Like, I feel more gratitude during Christmas than I do during Thanksgiving. And you get on a soapbox to reach keyboard and mic. Jesus. Really? Already? Golly. Well, you know. If you're going to have one tribute, or one attribute that people can make fun of, at least it's universal. I genuinely don't know what I was just talking about there. But sometimes I start a sentence and I don't know where it's going. Yeah, see, that's the attitude to have, Clueless. It is. Because with that kind of thing, you know, that's why here recently, you know, with everything that's been going on, I've distanced myself from the world of the political and the macro world. And there is a lot more peace that you find whenever you place importance on things that you have, like everything that you said, the grace for our sins and Savior, and you know, all, like, you know, you place your trust and faith in something that is greater than yourself, i.e. God, and you know, you gain a lot more peace from that. You know. And yes, I did get indignant because he's not wrong. Okay? There, are you happy? Viking? Are you happy, 40 Viking? Are you happy? It's going to be a thing there, and what time is it? Oh, it is 10:31. And so, I think we are going to save here. Let's see. How much have we gotten done today? Not much, honestly. I don't feel like we've gotten a whole lot done. But we will continue this tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, good lord. Next week. And, yeah, I gotta go out. I gotta get some grass cut. But been rewatching the fireworks of Moss ranting. Is it really that good of content? It's really not. It's like I was just saying, you know, man. Like, there's so many people out there who want to be writers for TV shows and directors and actors and game developers that the market gets diluted with subpar talent, that slop gets put out there. And it's the same with people on YouTube. I don't consider myself necessarily a great content creator, but, you know, you guys show up and I appreciate that. And so as long as there's just a couple of people who show up and who seem to get some sort of value out of what I do, then, you know, I'll keep doing it. Regardless of, you know, sometimes I feel like I should pull back and have a little bit more time for myself, which isn't necessarily wrong. Perhaps I do need that, but the fact of the matter is that people show up and people find value in what it is that I do, so I'm going to keep doing it. So, and I thank you guys for that, because you give me, you guys coming around and supporting what it is that I do actually gives me, quote unquote, purpose, to get up every day. So, it gives me something to work on, something to look forward to. And it means a lot. So, the map today, so it's been something I've been working on, but it's basically like the idea that I had for it is the house of what was once a maybe like a Japanese style military, not official, like a high level a samurai, like a retired samurai, so to speak. And so you got the rice field out here, and you've got kind of a larger home on the edge of the rice field. And so I don't know if this would be accurate to any particular given Japanese tradition, but it's a map, and I'm hoping to add as much detail and immersion to it as possible to make it worthwhile for maybe somebody at some point to want to create an encounter on or something. So with all that being said, I think that's where we're going to leave it off. So, let's see. I tell you what, let me check, because I can't rate anybody on YouTube yet, because we've kind of stagnated on subs on YouTube, unfortunately. But I think that's because I'm taking far too long to actually write my next thing, and we've only got Goblin Slayer, and then we've got this going out on YouTube right now, so we don't really have a whole lot of content. But that I'm trying to fix, because I'm trying to get my writing in gear. I've just kind of hit a wall as far as, you know, story beats and stuff like that. Oh, doggone it. I'm going to log out and then log back in. Hold on. I'm going to see if there's anybody live for me to host. This might be a futile thing. No, nobody else is really live right now. So, I guess that's where we'll end it. I'll just go ahead and end the stream. So, like I said, don't forget, Goblin Slayer comes out on Mondays. Check that out. Having a lot of fun with that, because that's an anime TTRPG show. I have a lot of fun with that. And then obviously check out Moonskull. We had a great the One Ring live stream last week. So if you haven't seen that, please do go and check that out. Also, Fear of Ages Past, the complete body of work is here on this channel. If you haven't watched it yet, please do be sure to check that out as well. And also, I'm on Avenue Studios on Thursdays. So coming this upcoming Thursday will be the actual first session of Nova Beast in the Daggerheart system. So look out for that as well. And so with that, I will bid you all adieu, auf Wiedersehen, Gesundheit, and God bless.